Hey guys, it's Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. Today we're doing an unboxing of the new Rogue Mace. This was a surprise. They had given no prior, hey, we're coming out with this. It was just drop on a Friday, Rogue Mace. I saw it, it looked like a barbell. I had to have it. Let's unbox it. So, like all of Rogue barbells, they are very hard, and this is a good thing, but they're very hard to unbox because they staple the end caps in. So we went ahead, put it on our chop saw, and Sam cut it down. So now we have the nice pleasure of just quickly taking the end cap off, which is very nice. This is probably the exact same tube they use on barbells. It's just shorter, so it feels larger diameter. Foam end caps. They're using multiple foam now. Ooh, and they actually took a line kind of from American barbell. They basically put a foam noodle around to prevent it moving around. They're now doing foam around it too, which is nice. Oh, this is cool. Okay, it comes with a collar. So there's a collar already on there. These are their Rogue OSO collars. I really wish they would have done the USA Olympic collar. I just prefer that collar, but this is a very nice collar. It would have been also cool if you could add a second collar, because I don't know if you can buy an individual collar and then you have two collars that you can use on your barbell too. But regardless, take this off, Okay. Dang, this thing feels like a staff or a sword. This thing's pretty cool. Okay, you can tell the inspiration behind the barbells immediately. Here's something, I learned this, I think Pete Keller told me this from French Sport. He's like, companies that manufacture barbells, they have to figure out how to keep their machines running, because if you just have machines operating that aren't doing anything, it's costing you money. So you want them to constantly be running. One thing I've noticed about Rogue, they are very smart with their manufacturing. How can we keep basically making things that use our barbell machinery, because they have billions. They're always, I've seen Bill post about these. Basically they're Haas machines. They're some of the best USA made machines. That's what they're using to basically make barbells. So I'm guessing from a manufacturing standpoint, how can we create more things that use barbells? And that's literally what this is. This is the 32 millimeter stainless bar that they use for their squat bar. This is classic Rogue. It is overdone, heavy, stainless, incredibly machined. I'm really glad they didn't go with the squat bar knurling, because that thing is ridiculously aggressive. This is more of a passive knurl. Honestly feels, maybe it's because of the diameter, but it feels a little bit more aggressive than their Ohio, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is exactly the Ohio. The full sleeve, as you can see, is stainless. Like I said, the same as their squat bar. They're Cerakoting their logo in, which I like. I think it just looks cool. The Cerakote on top of the stainless. And then the sleeve itself, this is pretty funny. All this is a reverse Olympic bar sleeve that's shortened. They flip it, turn it around, use brass bushings so it spins too. It's got an end cap there. Rogue, get it together on the end caps. They're just not, it's a little annoying. But spins, so it's gonna move around, and then they're taking a machine, billet piece of stainless steel, machining it down, and then they put basically a lock nut on there so it stays against it. The start weight on this is pretty high at 20 pounds. Or you can have the shorter one, but for a mace, it's just gonna feel kind of short, and because of the dynamics of it, it may hit your back where the plates are gonna rest, but the 15-pound one is 31 inches. This one's 45 inches. But let's put a plate on it and see how it goes. Me and 5 other people in the world have dumbbell bumpers. One of the other ones is in this room. Actually, I would bet a lot of people buy these 10-pound ones, but this is technically supposedly designed to be worked with this, because one thing about the dumbbell bumpers, pretty cool idea, they made it so that the inner sleeve is actually machined out, so it will sit further in against the collar so you can fit more plates on. So this goes over the top. One thing, they are using the matte black proprietary coating on the sleeves. The coating's actually really nice. It hardens the steel, so it's not like a Cerakote paint. One thing you see with Cerakote is you put a plate on there and suddenly it looks like crap. This one, you can grind up against it all you want, and you'll see it kind of will start to look silver, but that's actually not the coating peeling. That's actually the steel that's on the bumper. rubbing off and rubbing on it. So it's like any of these that I've had on the sleeves, they look so much better years later than what Cerakote does. So I'm glad they basically, I've noticed, they're starting to implement this on almost all their bars. For sleeves, it's a great idea. We actually do have a shoulder rock to compare as far as length. This is kind of the gold standard. They've come out with multiple generations since this. I reviewed this maybe, and I've had this probably close to a decade. It's been a long time, maybe 7 years. Because their shoulder rock is hollow. There's a big benefit to having that hollow piece though. Yes, it's gonna be less durable, but I've never really seen anybody break a shoulder rock from Kabuki. You can see what I'm talking about, the hollow top, but it is so much lighter. But I will say the idea of this, you're having to screw, this one you're able to use the collar. I mean, it's pretty well done. Okay, put that on there, and this slides on, boom. Okay, kind of one of the movements that you do with maces. I noticed they partner with a guy who is, I've seen him on Instagram, really known for mace work. There are quite a few movements you can do. The one that I think is most interesting for people that are starting out and significant is basically the around the world behind your back. So you can grab here. If you want to choke up a little bit, you can make it a little bit lighter. So the idea is you're basically securing your core, and you want to have kind of like a violent boom right here. It is a core burner, you know, it's like kind of similar to kettlebell training. People that are into kettlebells, it's more of a dynamic movement. You're not gonna be like introducing a ton of hypertrophy doing this movement, but for people that wanna move more and kind of move more dynamically, because you are moving through multiple planes of motion doing this, this could be a cool movement. So I was kind of worried, like you're going all the way around, like is that plate gonna stick off far enough to where it's gonna hit you? Because most of the time, if you're doing a mace, this is an example of an on-it mace, they try to make the head as small as possible so that it's out of the way. The weight on this is more asymmetrical than what it is on this, because most of the weight is at the head, whereas this is just a hollow tube. So you can use this way, and you get a little bit more momentum. This one, if you're just gonna use it without the plate, it's gonna feel a bit weird because the 20 pounds is pretty even all throughout. So it works. It actually feels pretty good. Now there are other movements, obviously, you can do with these. A lot of people like to do this kind of stuff, which I think is more for Instagram than real life training, but it's my opinion. But the actual like swings around the head, this is the question. Should you buy this one if you want a loadable mace? Or should you buy these fixed maces? Or should you buy the shoulder rock? Quality-wise, and this is classic Rogue, they blow everyone out of the water. This is one of those things where you just like kind of want to put it on your wall. It's like, this is cool. People would walk in and be like, what the freak is that? Let me show you. Wipe all the dust off and then you use it. But this one, I like that it has a lighter start weight. That's kind of nice. Well, one thing I was going to speak to is the price of shoulder rock. Rogue is more, but the start weight is a lot higher. But generally speaking, this thing is very nice. And I expect a lot of people that are getting loadable maces get this one because it is so much better designed. I mean, this rotating sleeve, the materials. So is there an advantage to the spinning plate here? Maybe. I don't think it's like a big one. Like you can't necessarily feel, I mean, personally, I can't feel a huge difference. I will say, if anything rotates on the fixed one, it's gonna be the plate up against the actual like sleeve. This one, because you lock it up against it, if there is any rotation during the movement, it's gonna be how you want it. There's a bushing there. Is that like, you know, revolutionary or something like that? Not necessarily. And they talk about it on their site, and I don't think they're using like extreme language to say like, oh, this changes the game or anything like that. But if I could choose one where the bar rotates separate from the plate and the sleeve, definitely go with this option. And it's gonna last forever because it's brass bushing. So, what do you think of the Rogue Mace? Let me know in the comments. Would you like to see it compared to any other maces or see us review any other maces? It's been a long time since I've done a review on a mace. Let me know in the comments. This has been Coop from Garage and Reviews. See you next time. Peace.